Hello, everybody. It's Joseph here, and we are playing a game that literally just released minutes ago. And then in the next episode, we'll be playing another game that released minutes ago. But today's February 17th, and SNK vs. Capcom Match of the Millennium has finally been brought to the Switch. This was the big one, but there was this one and then one other, which were the two big ones that I didn't know if they would ever make it into this Neo Geo Pocket Color selection because of the fact that they don't feature just SNK characters. Because there is actually, and I did play for a couple minutes just to make sure the audio was at the right levels and stuff. So we're gonna restart the game, and I really don't like playing with these filters on, like with the Neo Geo thing. Usually I do, but I don't in these Neo Geo Pocket Color releases for some reason, and the filter is just ugly. I just like playing like this. But so this game, I didn't think I was kind of worried it wouldn't come because of the Capcom characters and the fact that it has Capcom in the name. Also, I'm going to novice mode just because I want to be able to breeze through this arcade mode. And I would like to read the dialogue and stuff if I don't accidentally skip it. But this game is essentially a Capcom versus game. It's like, because there's the Capcom versus games, which consist of like Marvel versus Capcom and I can't think of any Tatsunoko versus Capcom, all that stuff. But this one was there was the Capcom versus SNK games, which were I think published by Capcom themselves, and then there was two SNK versus Capcom games which were published by SNK. I think that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. Feel free to look this up on your own. And those two games were SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos and SNK vs. Capcom Match of the Millennium, which SVC Chaos was on the Neo Geo, which I'll talk about that in a little while too. But this game was on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. It's awesome. It's the best one out of all of them. And I'm going to probably do another video once I figure out how to unlock a couple of the unlockable characters in this game, which is Evil Ryu and a couple other people. But, so this was one of the... Should I play as Morgan or Ryu? I gotta do Ryu. He's like the big Capcom boy. But this game was one of the Neo Geo Pocket Color games I didn't think would ever come, or I was hoping would come that didn't. And the other one's Sonic Pocket Adventure, which that one, if that one ever got ported to the Switch, here I come! I would have a panic attack of excitement, because that is my, I think, I always forget about it, but I would have to say it's probably in my top 5 favorite Sonic games, which happen to be Sonic Generations, Sonic Mania, Sonic CD, Sonic Colors, and Sonic Pocket Adventure. I always forget about Pocket Adventure. I would say it's probably, in the order that I like the Sonic games, it's Sonic Generations, my favorite. Sonic Mania is my second favorite. Sonic CD is my third favorite. Sonic Pocket Adventure is my fourth favorite. And Sonic Colors would be my fifth favorite. But we're not talking about Sonic. We're talking about Neo Geo Pocket Color games. Or just Sonic Pocket Adventure. Because I really hope that SNK gets the okay from Capcom. I mean from Sega to port that one over. And then I also, because obviously this game has Capcom's likeness in it, or likeness in it, so there had to have been some agreements or like some deals signed for SNK to have permission to use their characters in this release. So, oh shit, I forgot I was supposed to be reading all that dialogue. But yeah, so Capcom definitely had some kind of say in this game being brought over, so I guess that could mean that SNK would be able to bring over Pocket Adventure if Sega said it was okay, I think. I think that's how it would work. But yet again, I also hope that, because so far they've only done fighting games for these releases. They did Samurai Showdown 2, SNK Gals Fighters, and a couple others. But there's also 2 Metal Slug games on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, as well as Neo Turf Masters, which is an SNK game. Like that, like SNK should have no problem bringing over the Neo Turf Masters and the 2 Metal Slug games to this line. Maybe they're just trying to get all the fighting games out of the way. There's also Pac-Man, and there is there's also some games that were for the original Neo Geo Pocket that were black and white that they could also probably try to bring over, which was the first Samurai Showdown, the first King of Fighters R game, which King of Fighters R2 is the one that's on here now, but R1 was just on the original Neo Geo Pocket, and it was black and white. So I feel like they could bring those the original Neo Geo Pocket games over to the Switch, and possibly because they're not in color and they're older, they could probably do, like, instead of $7.99 for the price of them, do $6.99 maybe. But that probably won't happen. And then I don't remember if the first because there was 2 Metal Slug games across the Neo Geo Pocket line, and I don't remember if the first one was on the original Neo Geo Pocket or the Pocket Color. I think it was another case of the first one being on the first Neo Geo Pocket and then the second one being on the Pocket Color. I think that's how it worked. But yet again, I just hope they bring over every release, at least the ones that were in English, because there was also a King of Fighters party game, I think, on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. That was... I don't know how it did, but it was definitely weird. I've played a very small amount of it, but it's not in English, so that sucks. And then back to what I was saying about SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos, is that I really hope that they can maybe Hamster, who does all the ACA Neo Geo and Arcade Archive games on the Switch, maybe they could do a ACA Neo Geo of SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos, because they've done all the SNK Neo Geo games except for that one. All the Samurai Showdowns, all the King of Fighters, a bunch of other crap, and Metal Slug, not crap, but a bunch of other games. Shock Troopers, a bunch of shmups too. Like, if they could do one last ACN Neo Geo, I would love it if they could do SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos, because that's actually my favorite of the SNK versus or Capcom versus SNK games. I actually like that one better than Capcom versus SNK 1 and 2, and this one. I think this one's my... If I had to choose which one of these 4 SNK versus Capcom games that I would want to play, and let's just say I would never be allowed to play any of the others, I'd probably pick one of the Capcom ones over this one. This would probably be my last choice, just because of the primitiveness of it. It's still great. Like, this is the best, one of the best Neo Geo... This is actually the best Neo Geo Pocket Color game, besides Sonic Pocket Adventure, in my opinion. Just because of the fact that it has all the Capcom characters. But SVC Chaos actually has Mega Man Zero from the Game Boy Advance games, and that's like my favorite part of it. It's also just really fun. And it's where Violent Ken originated. Violent Ken from Ultra Street Fighter 2, he originated in SNK vs. Capcom SVC Chaos. Sorry if you guys heard some weird ass noise. I was drinking a Bang. I drink a Bang, like, not every day, but definitely once every couple days. Right now I'm drinking the boring ass generic blue Raz flavor. They just I drink a lot of energy drinks, like, not like all the time, but I definitely like to go out and try different ones that I've never tried before and all that stuff. And one of my new favorites is there's Bang and there's Rain. Rain is like not like rain as in it's raining outside, but rain as in like, oh, I'm reigning over you because I'm in charge. Like the king's reign over the land. That kind of reign. And they are essentially like the same thing as Bangs, just different tastes, different flavors and stuff. And they have a new flavor called, I don't know how new it is, but it's definitely my favorite one that I had never heard of until earlier this week, or actually last week. It's the White Gummy Bear. And it essentially tastes like a bag of frickin' Haribo gummy bears. If that's what they're going for, that's definitely what they succeeded. If that's not what it's supposed to taste like, that's what it tastes like to me. It might just be the fact that the energy drink is called White Gummy Bear. It's making me think that it tastes like gummy bears, but it's really frickin' good. And before I tasted that one, my favorite rain was the orange dreamsicle, because I love orange flavored things for the most part. And oh, we're fighting Kyo. But yeah, I like that white gummy bear flavored rain. And then also it's like not, it's like, I think it's pretty new. I don't think it's going to go on forever, but the Ghost energy drinks, which I had never heard of before I found out about this, they're doing like a Sour Patch Kids brand deal or something, I don't know. They're just doing Sour Patch Kids flavored rain energy drinks, and they're freaking amazing. I've tried the red one and the blue one, and they're freaking great. The blue one's better, but if you guys ever see those Ghost Sour Patch Kid energy drinks and you like energy drinks, go ahead and pick one of those up because they're really freaking good. They have them at Hy-Vee where I live in Missouri. And also, I was trying to record at least 2 or 3 episodes today, and I don't know how long I'll be able to record because here in Missouri or Kansas City or whatever, the area around here, the weather's horrible and it's below freezing like every second of the day. And they're shutting off power to specific areas in the city because we're using too much of it. And yesterday the power was out in my entire neighborhood for like almost 4 hours. And apparently, according to what I heard, my neighborhood wasn't actually one of those scheduled blackouts. It was because of my neighborhood actually just had a problem, and someone just had to come in and fix it. So apparently we wouldn't have even lost power yesterday if that didn't happen. But I just think it was a huge coincidence that my neighborhood literally lost power during the time where the government's shutting off power in specific places. I forgot I was supposed to be reading all this dialogue. I'm not really even looking at the screen when this is playing. Oh, it's Hamaru! I forgot to check and see if he's even unlocked right now. I always like to drink if I drink an energy drink, I try to go out of my way and drink it in the morning, before noon, but a lot of times I don't do that. It's probably just a better idea if you're going to consume 300 milligrams of caffeine in the span of 10 minutes by drinking an energy drink, you should probably do it in the morning so that it doesn't affect your sleep. But yet again, it doesn't affect my sleep anyways because I don't sleep. I usually average about 1.5 to 4 hours of sleep a night. I pull multiple all-nighters every week, and the average time I wake up and go to sleep is probably around 1 or 2, maybe 3 in the morning, and I wake up around 6, 7, or 8 in the morning, which that's like the most amount of sleep I get usually. A lot of times I'll just stay up way later. And it gets to the point where I'm like, I just don't sleep unless I am so unbelievably tired that I cannot keep my eyes open. Am I going to get it perfect? Oh my god, that would be... No! I almost got it perfect. I haven't even been talking about the game. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I'm on novice mode just because I didn't want to have any issues. Because I have beaten this arcade mode with multiple characters before through emulation. And... Fuck. Get out of here. That was a gross burp. That was also really loud. I've been not most of the characters, but I've played through this arcade mode with a lot of the characters on novice mode, so I know I shouldn't have had any problems with it. I would definitely like to do more episodes of this game, as well as some one-offs of all the past Neo Geo Pocket Color releases, and then I might do some, just in case they never release, bunch of these other games that I've been talking about today, like SNK versus Capcom, SVC Chaos, and all that stuff. I'll probably start doing more one-offs of older games like that. And I'd like to start doing a lot of emulation, like, not emulation, but just videos of games that I really play through emulation. Like, I wanted to do a Crisis Core miniseries for the PSP, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I really like that game. I'm almost done with it right now, because I started playing it a long time ago, and then I stopped, and recently I started over, and I'm playing through it at a higher resolution, which is really nice with PPSSPP, and it's really fun. Crisis Core is a lot of fun. If you guys haven't played that, you should definitely play it. And if you have a PSP and you have a copy of Crisis Core, go ahead and do yourself a favor and play through that game again, because it's really freaking fun. It's kind of like the precursor to what ended up being Final Fantasy VII Remake. The combat isn't anywhere, it's like not even that similar at all. Like, nothing about the gameplay is too similar to the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it definitely reminds me of it. Like, I feel like they definitely got a lot of aspects from Crisis Core when making the remake. Because Crisis Core in and of itself was a lot different than the original Final Fantasy VII. And honestly, I think it would be awesome if frickin' Square Enix did, because I don't know, a lot of people don't talk about it anymore. Actually, I haven't heard anyone mention it in a long time, but there was the Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition that was, I think, really good. I played it on mobile, and I think it was really fun. I paid for the full thing on mobile. It was really fun. I want to get it on Switch, but I'm gonna hold off for like indefinitely. I might get it like way towards the end of the Switch lifespan, just to when I start buying a ton of digital games when the servers are soon to go down, which will be years from now. But I wanted there to be a physical of that game. But the reason I started talking about Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition is because I thought of this briefly when that game came out. I kind of want them to do pocket editions of all of the maybe not all of them, I don't really know how it would work, but just do pocket edition like remakes or even demakes of a shit ton of the Final Fantasy games, like from 7 and later. So like do like a 7 pocket edition and make it have like the gameplay of an art style of 15 pocket edition, and then do the same thing, like do it with all the 3D Final Fantasies. So do it with 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 16. Like they got to do a 16 pocket edition. And if they're not going to continue doing it with the older games, which I don't think they will, I just think it would be cool. I think it would be cool if they did it with all the new numbered Final Fantasy VII releases. I mean, not Final Fantasy VII, just Final Fantasy game releases. So 16, 17, 18, 19, all the ones that aren't MMOs in the future. I think they should stick with doing the pocket edition version. That would be awesome. Because like I would buy a Final Fantasy 16 Pocket Edition for Switch in a heartbeat, because that one, even if it did release on mobile, I probably would play it on Switch. Just imagine, bro, if Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition for Switch had a physical, I would not hesitate to buy that. And I feel like there'd probably still be people who would buy it now, but I feel like it's past its popularity, so it would have definitely sold more copies as a physical release back when it came out digitally, if it was gonna sell good at all. Okay, I may say the Blue Raspberry is generic and boring because it's literally just blue raspberry, but god, it's really good. Because like a lot of the reasons I drink energy drinks is not completely for the caffeine. The caffeine's nice, but I actually do genuinely like the taste of most energy drinks I have. Except there's this one brand of energy drinks. I don't remember what it was called because I only got 2 of them, because they had a sour apple flavor and a orange something flavor. And there's a lot of times I've had alcohol before. Oh, I'm such a bad boy. Just the thing is, I don't drink it too much, but I have had it a couple times. And there's a specific, like some alcohol that, not all of it, it gives me like, I'll drink it, and then it'll give me like a weird ass taste in my mouth, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It happens, it's weird, and then I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like I have like it's like an aftertaste, and it's causing me to want to gag and throw up. And it just happens with some alcohol, like just depending on like the flavor and stuff. I don't know what causes it. And then there's this one energy drink where it really tasted good as I was drinking it, but once I set the can down and just kept doing what I was doing, in between sips the aftertaste would start to set in, and I literally wanted to throw up, and I almost did. And it sucked. So yeah, there's a few energy drinks and a ton of alcohol that does that, and it sucks because I like trying out new energy drinks, like, because there's so many different brands, and it's hard to branch. It's scary to branch out when you know you might end up throwing up because of this one, which is why I the one that I had that feeling with last time was orange flavored something of a brand that I don't remember. But I'll just make sure I stick with my Orange Dreamskull Rain instead of anything else that's orange flavored. Did I beat the arcade mode? I did. Wow. Congratulations me. I forgot everything I just played. That is okay. Let's see if the game will save my progress. Secret member? I don't have enough parts, what the... Are you kidding me? I want to unlock evil Ryu. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of SNK vs. Capcom, the match of the Millennium. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you disliked it, leave a dislike. Comment down below, because I love reading and responding to all your guys' amazing, spectacular, intelligent comments. And I'll see you guys all next time. Don't forget to subscribe. That's the big one. Don't forget that. Without further ado, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace!